In this video, I will explain the difference between sampling bias, response bias, and non-response. So we'll have 3 questions and we'll try to identify what the bias is in each. So the first question, the manager of a shopping mall wishes to expand the number of shops available in the food court. He has a market research survey the first 120 customers who come into the food court during the weekend afternoons to determine what types of food the shopper would like to see added to the food court. So there is a bias in this in the way the survey is conducted. So it says that he has a market research survey the first 120 customers who come into the food court during the weekend afternoons. So that's where the bias lies. Is it surveys the customers, the first 120 customers, and the reason there's the bias is because a sample doesn't really represent the population as a whole, and especially when it's just the afternoon customers, the first afternoon customers, it doesn't survey people from the morning or probably people from the night. So this type of bias would be a sampling bias. Question number 1. Okay, let's go to the second question. An anti-war advocate wants to estimate the percentage of people who favor cutting back of funds for the military. She conducts a nationwide survey of 1,060 randomly selected adults 18 years and older. The interviewer asked the respondents, "Do you favor supporting peace by limiting our military involvement in world affairs?" So the bias is in the question, and specifically it is supporting peace. So she could have asked the question, do you favor limiting our military involvement in world affairs? That would have been an okay question, no bias, but the bias is by adding the words supporting peace, which gives a sense of opinion in the question. So this type of bias is an example of response bias. Number 2. The last question is, a polling organization conducts a study to estimate the percentage of households that has 2 incomes. It mails a questionnaire to 1,556 randomly selected households across the United States and asks the head of each household if he or she has 2 incomes. Of the 1,556 households selected, 14 responded. So there is a flaw in the survey. The flaw is because only 14 responded, and the bias is towards only a lot of people did not respond. So that's where the flaw in the survey is. So this one is a non-response.